Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the Frontline Changes report. For the past 24 hours, a lot of frontline changes for just 24 hours. And if you remember the yesterday's Frontline Changes report, we have already reported so much things. Today, there's a lot of frontline change again. So over at the Kursk region, we have frontline changes at Kornevo, Bakovo, Gordievka, and then there is frontline changes over at Pivnishny in the New York front, and over the Pokrov sector, Pokrov front, we have frontline changes at Novohorodivka, Membrik, Kalinove, Konstantinivka over at the Donetsk front, and Vodiane. So a lot of frontline changes, very significant. Basically, if yesterday was the time where the toilet is too far and the shit have hit the pants, had all come out in the pants. Now the shit has just dropped out of the pants and is now everywhere. It's horrible. So first we need to give the cope to the pro-Ukrainian side first. Slava Ukraini, good job. Because the Ukrainians have confirmed to have captured Gordievka. According to the Russian sources, they have considered that the Ukrainians have taken Gordievka and also had at Byakovo. So the Russians are all saying Byat because they lost Byakovo. So and Gordievka. And however, this has already been mapped to be under Ukrainian control by Deep State UA, as I had reported this quite a long time ago. So this is not much of a surprise to us, but the Russian side finally came to terms that they have indeed lost this entire chain of settlements along this road from Gordievka all the way northward towards Kirinevo. So this is a frontline change around this eastern flank of the Kursk front. And over at Kirinevo region, there is geolocation of Ukrainian forces along the tree line, further invalidating Russian claims in this region here. So the Ukrainian claim seems to be probably more accurate. The Ukrainians probably have a lot more space and movement regions, but the Russian side have not been able to acknowledge or confirm the Ukrainian claims yet. So these are the frontline change over at the Kursk front or the Kursk front, and as you can see, actually strategically there's nothing changed. So but nice scope. So we go into the New York front at Pivnishny. As remember, I told you about the third direction. First, we have the pincer, where the Russian forces attack from the east, and then they're going to attack from the south. This time round, I mentioned that there will be a third direction. This has come true. The Russian forces has been geolocated in the north of the cemetery region of the Dacha, and this also comes at the same time where the Russians previously have mapped in this way. So this pincer is now in action, and the Ukrainian forces in this region is unlikely to be here. I believe that they are already actively withdrawing from this region, and this is like the third time or fourth time I draw this picture here. Just at this time round, we did have Russian forces geolocated just south of this region. If this Russian claim is accurate, then we are talking about merely a 500 meters distance between the two sides. If we don't look at that, then if we go from the confirmed line where we have geolocation of Russian forces, the distance between the two sides is around 800 meters. Similarly, it's not that far. So the Russian forces is going to close this salient, and I believe that they're going to basically just eat up the entire place. And so that's about it. So around in this region in Pivnishny. So the Battle of Torex continues. Then we go into the Pokrov front. At the Pokrov front is where all the shit hits everywhere. Not just the fan, but also the wall, the floor, your shirt, my shirt, your face. Not my face is clean. So we go to Novohorodivka first. And Novohorodivka, some massive changes. First, we have geolocation of Russian forces basically in the northern part, confirming Russians have taken a good position over in the north. Ukrainian mapping have confirmed that the Russians have captured everything in the central and the south of Novohorodivka. And this means that the Ukrainian forces have already mass withdrawn from this region here. They have totally retreated. And I have no idea where they retreat to at this moment. I'm still looking at these sources and probably look at the map later. I would probably talk more about this in the SIPREP, but the Russians have basically taken most of Novohorodivka. I'm quite sure we're going to see the fall of Novohorodivka confirmed. The capture is going to be confirmed over the next 24 hours because I don't think the Ukrainians are going to hold a defense around here. There's no reasons for them to hold the position here because this is undefendable as well. So unless they install 2 Tesla coil here, then maybe this will become quite a good defense, Tesla coils. But only old people my generation people will understand what I'm talking about. So anyway, this is Novohorodivka situation. Russian forces, of course, also have expanded their control around Marinivka. However, this is just a corroboration of the Russian mapping that already we have drawn previously. So this is the corroboration of the Russian map, and the Russians are actually very correct in this place. Then we go south of that region into the Kalinove Memrik region, and this is also one hell of a down. You see, like it's a hand pointing downwards, like like this. Yes. So because it's like I look down on you, the kind of situation, because this is horrible, and like I said, there is no way for the Ukrainians to hide this because all the one hell of a geolocations all have been dropping one after another. Russian forces, raising the flag in Kalinove, raising the flag in Memrik. They are raising flags everywhere. So flag businesses are doing very well. So Russian forces expanded their control over Mikhailivka, and they have also conquered the entire of Memrik in a single push. So there is definitely no defenders because of the speed of the capture. So Russian forces basically have a quick capture of Memrik, and as I mentioned, Kalinove is undefendable, and we have now confirmed that the Russians have taken Kalinove, a full capture of Kalinove. So this is now the new reality that there is no amount of PR, no amount of war effort on Twitter or in the mainstream media is going to change the fact on the ground. So this is also why when I do my mapping, when I do my reporting, my preoccupation is the frontline change. Is where the frontline is. That is more important to me. Yes, there is battle. There's a game bigger than this, just a battlefield. There's bigger wars being fought geopolitically, economically, and whatnot. But the propaganda war, the information warfare does not change the fact on the ground. The reality is that if the economic war works, the sanction works, or the strikes in the rear position, strikes on the energy facilities, strike on logistic, train station, air bases, if all of this works, the front line will start to move in your favor. That is just simple as that. So I only want to see the results because the Russians have launched so much missile strikes on Ukraine over the past 2.5 years, but you can't tell what is the direct impact. So the direct impact, the impact actually comes only much later. So this is why I don't cover that much because we are not going to know how it is. It's just going to be war porn, and I'm not into war porns. So Russian forces captured Memrik as well as Kalinove, confirmed by both Russian and Ukrainian sources. So and we move further up to further down to the Donetsk front. And Donetsk front, there is a very, very strong indication that Konstantinivka has fallen suddenly to the Russians. Overnight, the Russian forces and suddenly have planted the flag over on the western part of Konstantinivka, and they are also in the north. And based on Russian claims, the Russian mapping have claimed the entire Konstantinivka to be fully captured by the Russian forces suddenly. And this is part of the other shit. This is where the shit, ends up inside your washing machine and say, what the hell happening? Why is the shit everywhere? This is the kind of situation. And so don't use Twitter. My joke has went off the window. Yes, that's also a joke. So and it hit your head because it went off the window of the shit. So anyway, so the Russian forces claim this. There is these 3 geolocations where it really puts a very strong claim that the entirety of the settlement has been captured. However, this area here, this is still Russian claims. I only confirm this to be permanent, confirm captures. So, but generally speaking, if the Russians have taken this much, Konstantinivka is basically, is a goner. I just want to wait for tomorrow for the Ukrainian side to concede that they have lost Konstantinivka, and then we'll give the flag to the Russians. Further south of this position, the Russian claim that they have also lined up with the rest of the highway up to the previous point where they have a firm capture. So this advancement is huge. So that is the frontline change over at the Konstantinivka region, and there is still more over at the Vodiane region. Based on Ukrainian mapping, they have considered that this entire chunk along the highway is now secured by the Russian forces. As I mentioned before, this is one of the primary objective in this sector of the battlefield, where the Russians want to take the entire highway in order to bring up to the next phase of war. So this phase is largely complete now, with now three vectors of attack completing their mission. So one vector, second vector, third vector, all of them have completed their mission in this region here. And just with these three vectors, they are now poised to attack Vodiane in three different vectors of attack. So this is actually quite scary. I think there's only one more vector. Actually, this vector also completed. So there's only just a little bit of chunk of the highway that is still not fully secured. But as you can see, this entire this entire area here is now fully, is almost fully captured by the Russian forces. I believe the next one will be this area, so that they can actually do a flanking operation around Voleda. So, or they will just go straight for Vodiane first. So that is also a possibility. So these are all the frontline changes report. Very, very significant frontline change. And this is a continuation of the massive collapse of the front line that was already reported yesterday. And it's partly to do with the Ukrainians holding back information. And not just that, the front line has actually collapsed further. So previously there was a collapse, but the Ukrainian forces are still defending. They're still trying to push back and do what they can, despite maybe they're lacking soldiers, lacking equipment, lacking ammunition, perhaps. But now, even these defenders are not defending anymore. They have abandoned their position. I'm hesitating to call it a rout yet, but we shall see how things develop over the next few days. Is it a rout? Because what is a rout? A rout is when the forces just keep retreating and they're not fighting at all. They just keep retreating, and and the enemy just captures huge amount of grounds in response, as they give chase to the retreating troops. That's a rout. So tentatively, this is not a rout yet, but definitely we are looking at Ukrainians abandoning their posts, their defending positions. So which is why I bring back to Kursk. This capture is superficial, because it didn't change the strategic situation. This is pretty much the same strategic situation that we have been reporting for the past 2 weeks already. So anyway, thank you for watching. Wait for the sit wrap, and there's a lot more to talk about in the rest of the front line, as well as we go into details. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next update.